Good morning, class 30 students. We will start chapter number 2 yesterday, and I am already giving you part first and second of chapter 2. Today we will read page number 15 of chapter number 2, The Witches, part 3. So let's read. But I didn't become excited. EXCITED. Excited means more reactive. Really means in real. Until she got on to the subject of witches. Witches we are referred here for the ugly women or the wicked women that are not good. She was apparently a great expert on these creatures. She here refers for the grandmother. She having a great experience on these creatures. Here refers for the witches. Apparently means it seems that she having a great experience on these witches. Everything she was telling me about witches had actually happened. The things that grandmother explained to the narrator that had already happened about the witches, and I had better believe it, and the the narrator would believe them easily. What was worse? What was bad? What was far worse? What was more bad? Was that witches were still with us. The things that was seems to be bad was this, that the witches were really with them. They were all around us, and I had better believe that too. The narrator also believed that witches were all around us, and he had also a belief on the witches. You must listen to me, my grandmother said. His grandmother said this. You must listen to my words. You must remember, and you must remember all the things, everything I tell you, the stories which I told you. After that, all you can do is cross your heart and pray to heaven and hope for the best. And after listening my story, you feel very terrible, you have fear, so that one thing you can do is to pray to the Lord and hoping for the best. We were in the big living room of her house in Oslo, and I was ready for bed. Bed here refers for the sleep. The narrator was ready to sleep, and he was sitting in the living room in the Oslo. The curtains were never drawn in that house. The curtains were never drawn means there was no curtains, or if they are having the curtain, that they don't put it down. And through the windows I could see huge snowflakes. Snowflakes here refers for the ice crystal. Then the curtains was not there, so he can easily available to see the ice crystals that are falling slowly onto an outside world that was as black as tar. And the crystals here compared to be a tar. Like you will see the tar, it is a black sticky liquid that is required for making the roads, and it becomes hard when it cools. So my grandmother was tremendously old. Grandmother was extremely old and wrinkled. Wrinkled means having lines on the face according to the age. Myself just 7 years old, and the narrator was only 7 years old. Was crouched. Crouched here refers for in the sitting way, like this, on the ground. CROUCHED, crouched on the floor at her feet. He was sitting there wearing pajamas, and the narrator was wearing pajama dressing gown, the dress we will wear at the night, and slippers. Listen, she said. His grandmother said, listen, I have known no less than 5 children. She know about 5 children who have simply vanished off the face of this earth, who will not be able to see again in this earth, never seem to be seen again. The witches here refers for the wicked woman, took them. The witches took them, all the 5 children, and I have never seen these children again. I still think you are just trying to frighten me, I said. I here refers for the narrator. Narrator said, I think that was not real, and you are just trying to frighten me. I am trying to make sure you don't go to the same way, she said. I also, his grandmother said that I make sure that you don't go to that way where the witches come. I love you, and I want you to stay with me. I love you so much, and I want that you will remain with me. Tell me about the children who disappeared, I said. Then the narrator asked that, tell me about that children. 5 children you have already discussed who have disappeared because of the witches. The first child I knew who disappeared, she said, was called Rangild, and The grandmother explained that the first child I knew who was disappeared was his name was there was a girl and her name was Rangild Hansen. Rangild was about 8 at the time. The girl's age was 8 years old and she was playing with her little sister on the lawn. She was busy playing with her little sister in the garden, and their mother who was baking bread in the kitchen, and her mother was busy in the kitchen for baking the bread. And when she came outside for a breath of air, "Where's Rangild?" she asked. "Where's Rangild?" "She went away with the tall lady," the little sister said, and then her sister replied that Rangild was go away with the tall lady. "What tall lady?" the mother said, and the mother asked, "What tall lady? I have never seen that lady."